Hello, world and universe. Welcome to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. And for all my continued followers, I want to say thank you. And this is an opinion-based video channel where I try to open your eyes and ears up to some of the travails and tribulations that take place throughout our cities, our states, our country, and sometimes around the world. And this is another storyline straight out of St. Louis, Missouri. Just when you think the greatest business idea to have is with a family member, run a family business. But this particular business with a father and a son was corruptible, not only to their family, but also to the community, where this father and son were drug trafficking cocaine in the St. Louis area. So let's get into it. So just when a father is supposed to be a mentor, he has his adult son operating an illegal business, which led to them getting caught and getting long and lengthy prison sentences. So let's go. U.S. District Judge Ronnie L. White on Wednesday sentenced a father and son who brought kilograms of cocaine to St. Louis for years to more than 10 years in prison. Judge White sentenced Gregory Dixon Jr., 53, to 15 years in prison and ordered him to pay a $10,000 fine. He will also be on supervised release for 10 years after he gets out of prison. His son, Gregory Cornell Dixon III, 33, was sentenced to 10 years and 1 month in prison. So this is how the story goes. Beginning in at least 2015, the Dixons conspired with others to bring Caine to St. Louis. Dixon Jr. admitted that at least 450 kilograms of Caine could be attributed to his conduct and the conduct of others. For Dixon III, that figure was 50 to 150 kilograms of Caine on a regular basis. In late 2016 or early 2017, Dixon Jr., who was the father, and/or Dixon III, the son, sent couriers to Texas to buy kilograms of Caine from Miguel Angel Gonzalez, who bought it from Carlos Gonzalez. Dixon Jr. was at one point buying as much as 8 to 16 kilograms a week. During the investigation, law enforcement officers intercepted or seized Caine and cash. In September 2015, 31 kilograms of Caine was found hidden inside a vehicle. The drugs were supplied by Omar Pena Vargas. In August 2018, Gonzalez was found in a hotel with 2 bags containing a total of $634,770 in cash, representing a partial payment for 75 kilograms of drugs being sold to Dixon Jr. On October 28, 2018, 8 kilograms of Caine was bound for St. Louis was seized. In March of 2020, 23 pounds of a mix of heroin and fentanyl was seized from Ruben Sanchez Blanco. Some of those drugs were intended for St. Louis, Dixon III said in his plea agreement. In July 2021, $161,845 was found hidden inside a vehicle that Quentin DeForest Atkins drove to Texas to buy 6 kilograms of Caine. Dixon Jr., the father, pleaded guilty in January to conspiracy to distribute and possess with the intent to distribute more than 5 kilograms of drugs and conspiracy to launder money. Dixon III, the son, pleaded guilty to the same Caine conspiracy charge as his father. Dixon Jr. agreed to forfeit $135,265. The proceeds from the sale of a home in Texas, a 2015 GMC Sierra 1500 Denali, a customized 2015 Harley Davidson Road Glide, and cash in lieu of a 2018 Dodge Challenger Demond. Vargas is in federal prison. Miguel Gonzalez, 59, pleaded guilty in November to a charge of conspiracy to distribute and possess with the intent to distribute more than 5 kilograms of Caine and 400 grams of Finney. He is scheduled to be sentenced in June. Atkins, 63, pleaded guilty in November to the Caine and Finney conspiracy and money laundering conspiracy charges and was sentenced in February to 7 years and 3 months in prison. Blanco, 46, of El Paso, Texas, was sentenced in June to 5 years in prison after pleading guilty to conspiracy to distribute Caine and Finney. Carlos Gonzalez is deceased. The Drug Enforcement Administration, the FBI, and the IRS Criminal Investigation investigated the case. This effort is part of an organized crime drug enforcement task force called the OCD-ETF operation. OCD-ETF identifies, disrupts, and dismantles the highest level of criminal organizations that threaten the United States using a prosecutorial-led, intelligence-driven, multi-agency approach. Additional information about the OCD ETF program can be found at www.justice.gov/OCDETF. What a story, coming straight out of the backyards of St. Louis, Missouri, where I do most of my videos. And this is such a sad story where a father and son are engaging in a family business that's at the detriment of themselves and the detriment to their city and community. We would love to hear more stories of a father who is a doctor or lawyer, and the son decides to follow in the father's footsteps. The father could be a police chief, and then the son wants to be a police officer. The father could be a fire captain, and the son wants to be a firefighter. Those are the kind of storylines that we need to be talking about versus a father and a son deciding to be drug lords. The other surprising part about this particular storyline is that, to me, with the amount of evidence and the admission to the high volume and the years of them selling large amounts of drugs on the streets of St. Louis, to me, their sentences are very light. 10 years, 10 years, 5 years, 7 years. And I'm doing this story to make an admission that I wonder, is our United States government really making a strong effort to control the drugs that are being transported into our country and then disseminated on the streets of our major cities, along with the migrant situation? It seems like our borders are opening up to anything and everything that can come across into our country, whether it's in a positive nature, and many times it ends up into something negative, like drug trafficking, human trafficking. And this is a typical scenario where this has been taking place for a long time with this father and son. They're doing interstate transferring all the way through Texas, which again has a heavy migrant issue that is taking place, where these migrants are not being properly vetted to let the United States citizenry know who's coming into the country and what positive or negative effect they will have when they are here. And we also need to build the social services system to help these migrants become adequate and positive citizens. But in this particular case, you have 2 U.S. citizens who have been perpetrating as if they are from the movie Scarface, and soliciting and transferring drugs across multi-state uh, scenarios, all the way from Texas to St. Louis, and then disseminating these uh, drugs into our streets and to our kids and to uh, people here in St. Louis, Missouri. Chicago has always been a big hub for drug transportation. We need to get a handle on the amount of drugs that are entering our country and that is being offered to our citizens in America. Drugs have no place. They're not something that is fundamental to the moral and ethical fabric of our society. And thank God that the feds, the IRS, and our government did capture these individuals, and they are going to pay the price. I don't think that they have gotten enough time based on the amount of drugs that they were selling, and that is not the end all be all. We need to protect our borders and get these individuals who are transferring these drugs from our borders into middle America. By the time we start arresting these individuals in St. Louis, in Chicago, in Philadelphia, New York, California, it is too late. We need to have a precipice of trying to stop the entrance of these terrible drugs into our country, and then we don't have to worry about anyone selling them in St. Louis, Chicago, Kansas City, or any of these other cities. Let's not wait till the end to deal with these petty drug dealers. Let's deal with the big boys at the borders and in these other countries that are transferring these drugs to our cities and destroying the humanity, the moral and ethical being of our society. Tell me what you think about this case of a father and son who were major drug dealers in St. Louis. They finally got caught, and I think their sentences are too light. Tell me what you think. This has been the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth in a positive, righteous, and God-fearing way.